Hey guys, it's Mark from Periphery here, and we're in town to play a show in Chicago, and I figured I would stop by the Reverb offices here downtown and show off my brand new PRS SE Signature model. So my first guitar was, and I don't even remember the brand name, I was living in South Korea at the time, and my father bought me this, this black guitar with a speaker built into the body. It was like $80 or something. It was amazing. I mean, I felt like I'd won the lottery or something, and that's what I learned on. I played it years after, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, how does anybody learn on this thing? It was just this awful guitar. But it was good enough for the first year and a half of playing. I've always been sort of like, if an instrument speaks to me in a certain way, I'll just go play it, and I'll write on it, and then I'll jam on it. The PRS name has always had this certain like, a reputation of just sort of unattainability, you know? It always used to be the guitar, I would go to Guitar Center or whatever, and I'd see it up on a wall, and I'd be like, wow, I want that someday. You know, when I become a millionaire, I want to buy that guitar and buy that one. When the opportunity came to actually meet the guys, like meet Paul and meet the team at PRS, that's when it dawned on me, like maybe we can try and create something new. And you know, keep in mind, I had loved the Custom 24 since the 90s, you know. I'd been in love with that guitar. So when the opportunity came to sort of make a different spin, a different take on the Custom 24, I absolutely had to, yeah. I mean, there are some specs where I'm kind of just like, yeah, that looks cool, but it's not really necessary, so let's not focus on those. But there are a couple that are, to me, unless they're nailed, I don't really feel comfortable taking a guitar on stage or relying on a guitar in the studio. And those specs are, it's scale length, especially for this type of music, and the amount of tunings that we use, which are just spread out across the board. It's scale length, it's fretboard radius, which is how flat the fretboard is. But to me, it has to feel very flat, almost like a wall. It just helps with vibrato. It feels a lot more natural. The size of the frets sort of feel like there's no resistance. I like bigger frets, you know. It's the way the bridge sits on my hand and on the guitar. Like if that's not right, I get really jumpy. You know, there's just a certain comfort level that I'm so used to with my right hand. The bridge has to be right, and they nailed it with this guitar. And also, of course, probably the most important is pickups. So these are the Seymour Duncan Alpha and Omega pickup set that I developed with them almost 3 years ago now. I just went out to their factory in Santa Barbara, and I got a chance to. It was really fun, especially if you're like a pickup dork or something. But I spent 3 days out there just prototyping sets, set after set. So super cool experience, and we got to go through different iterations until we came up with this set. And there were two big battles that I wanted to really win with this whole thing. One of them was the price. I wanted that to be below $1,000, $1,000 US. Two was keeping these pickups in, because Duncan released these pickups in the Seymour Duncan Custom Shop last year, and they were at a retail of $300. But we made it work. With Duncan and PRS, I really have to hand it to both of them for working it out and happening to make that come to fruition. My writing style has become a lot more natural and more effortless. Like if I'm slumping, if I hit a rut, which I do quite often, everybody hits a rut, I can bust out of it by finding an instrument that just speaks to me on multiple levels. If that doesn't work, I'll just throw my guitar in an interesting tuning. And that's how I've written a lot of stuff in this band. That's why we have so many tunings. Because if you hit a wall and you feel like you're tapped out in drop C or standard or whatever, then throw it in drop A. Or there's this one, we wrote a song on Periphery 2 called Scarlet, that's an open C add 9, which that was a really fun tuning at the time, super inspiring. It's a really beautiful, like bubbly, positive, jovial tuning. Makes you want to go rescue a dog or something. And I have another project called Haunted Shores. It's like a thrash, melodic thrash, death, black metal kind of thing. And we utilize a tuning on that record that's open C minor add 9. It's really dark, angry, grim, frostbitten tuning. Really pissed off tuning. This is the one that we call like our drop A, basically. So where everything, strings 1 through 5 are a whole step down, and then the 6th string is an additional step and a half down. So then you have, so basically with a traditional power chord shape, those 2 notes is an octave. Again, the whole point of this is not to give you like a crazy, unique, original sound, much like the 2 tunings that we just went over were, but this is just, again, just to sort of flip your bag of tricks upside down. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and if you want to know more about this guitar, look it up on Reverb.com and go to a store and find it somewhere. If they don't have it, order angrily.